Hello, welcome to class. Happy Monday or whatever day it is in the future. We are going to start our 45-minute class today on our backs, I think, today. So we'll come down to a supine position, knees stay up towards the ceiling, and they can stay where they are just like that, or maybe we walk the feet out as wide as the mat, letting the knees ball towards each other to rest. Maybe you keep the hands on the belly, or maybe they come out wide at your sides. We let the belly grow nice and heavy. Feeling the spine and all corners of the back making contact with the mat. And we tap into our breath, inhaling through the nose, down into the belly. Exhales can come out through the nose or the mouth, whatever's comfortable, but they are slow and mindful and controlled. Letting the belly grow really heavy on the exhale. And we start to become aware of the body, maybe for the first time today. Noticing what it feels like to be in this position, or even noticing the details of our body. Maybe your hands are really warm, or your ankles feel stiff. Maybe the chest and shoulders feel really soft and open. Maybe you have a weird pain in your side. There's no wrong answers when we're observing our body. When the mind starts to wander, or if it hasn't stopped wandering, we take that opportunity as an opportunity to lean on and return to the breath. And every time the mind wanders, we again come back to the breath. Maybe you start to play around with the breath, making your exhales longer than your inhales. After your next exhale, we'll keep the eyes closed and gently heel toe our feet back through the midline until they come right together, arch to arch, sole to sole, heel to heel, as we let the knees widen, opening up the inner thigh, the inner hips, the groin. We're here for 3 more breath cycles. Last one. At the end of your exhale, we'll gently use our hands to guide our knees back together. Right knee comes up towards the chest and we catch the shin with our interlaced fingers. Send the left leg out long, gently squeezing the right knee towards the right shoulder. Being mindful of our left side when we do. So we're anchoring down through the left heel. Left knee is engaged, so we're keeping that left leg firm and steady, but also anchoring down the left hip. One more inhale, and on the exhale, we'll use left hand to guide right knee across the midline, maybe taking it nice and slow, maybe pausing anywhere that feels really good, and then letting the knee fall all the way over to the left side. Maybe you feel or hear some cracks and pops. Let's take the right arm out wide, half T at your side, wrist in line with the shoulder. Maybe we'll look over past the right fingertips. And maybe close the eyes so you don't see that you need to clean the floor. Continue to send the breath down into the belly, feeling the expanse of this deep twist. Take one more inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine, activating the center as we draw the right knee back to the midline. Dropping the right sole, we lift the left knee towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around the shin before sending the right leg out long. Exhale draws our left knee to left shoulder. Taking a moment to become aware of how we're treating our right side. Option here to bring in some ankle rotations. That feels good. On your next exhale, we'll use the right hand to gently guide the left leg across the midline, pausing anywhere that feels really good. Maybe staying for an extra breath or two before letting that left knee fall all the way over to the right. Both shoulders stay pinned down to the mat. So reach the left arm out long, half T at your side. One more breath cycle. Exhale draws you back through center. We drop the left foot or left sole. Right foot comes up to meet the left as we lift both knees this time up towards the chest, interlacing around the knees or the shin, or maybe grabbing the hamstrings, the back of the knees. We gently squeeze the knees towards the chest. If you want to play around or test your balance, you can gently peel the head, neck, upper body off the floor, reaching nose to knees. Wherever you are, we'll take one more breath. Exhale, we unlock the fingers. Toes, big toes stay together as we let the knees kind of widen, coming in line with the shoulders. We run the hands down the front of the shins, tops of the ankles, maybe grabbing the ankles, maybe grabbing the outside of the feet, making our way into happy baby. Of course, you can do half happy baby or stirrup posture, doing one leg at a time. Otherwise, we'll inhale, and on the exhale, gently we shine the soles of the feet and hamstrings up towards the ceiling, ankles stacked over the knees. If you're feeling any like pinching or pulling or like almost feeling like the tendon is snagged on something, straighten the legs a little bit as much as you can before dropping down into our little inverted squat. We send the tailbone towards the front of the mat, making the low back nice and flush with the ground, creating our foundation. If you're feeling brave or playful, maybe you rock gently side to side. If you have a bony spine like me, that might not feel very good. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, gently we bring the big toes together first, then we drop the heels towards the hips, and then run the hands up over the shins, over the knees, dropping the soles of the feet to the earth. We're going to roll our way up to a seated position. So the soles of the feet are going to kick back up to the earth, or excuse me, up to the ceiling. Hands can either come on the backs of the legs or palms can be down against the earth, right by the hips. And on our inhale, we're going to kick the feet up towards the ceiling, using momentum to roll our way up to seated. When you get there, sit up nice and tall, and we're going to use our exhale to roll back down again. We kick on the inhale, exhale, we roll up, sitting nice and tall. One more time, exhale, we roll. And sitting up nice and tall, we send the legs out long. Coming into our staff pose, starting to warm up the hamstrings here. Inhale, we're pressing down through the heels, toes are lifted up towards the ceiling, knees are engaged. We're drawing the thigh bones back into socket here. Tailbone reaches down towards the earth. On our exhale, we're going to bend at the hips, drawing the belly over the thighs, starting to drape our way over to a seated forward fold. If this doesn't feel good, or you feel like the legs are just a little too tight today, we can bend the knees, dropping the chest and forehead in between the knees, giving a little more room. Wherever you are, we'll keep the toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Maybe shining the crown all the way to the earth by dropping the chin towards the chest. Inhaling in through the belly. You can feel the skin of the low back expand. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, we're gently going to roll our way up to a seated position. The left leg comes to the midline, right leg comes out long. We drop the forearm down by the right calf, or if that doesn't feel good, you can keep the arm straight, right hand on the inside of the right thigh or on the outside of the right thigh. As we lift left arm up towards the ceiling. And our next exhale, we drape left fingers over towards right toes, biceps by the ear. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we drop the left arm down by the right and then square both arms under the shoulders, shoulders in line with the hips. So gaze will be straight down towards the mat in line with the pelvis. So everything's lined up again through the midline. If it feels good or necessary to take some neck rotations here, you certainly can. We're still active in the right leg. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we start to walk both hands over to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand plants down as we wrap right arm up and over, bicep by the ear. Right fingers are reaching over to the left side of the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, we press into the left hand, pressing us back up to center the way that we started so we can unravel and take it to the other side. So left leg comes to the midline, right leg comes to the midline, heel to pelvis, left leg is out long. We find our arm placement on this side, which might feel different than the other. We inhale, right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, right fingers reach over to left toes. We're wrapping that right shoulder blade around and down the back body so the chest is open. Bring an awareness to the neck so we're not dumping our weight. Exhale, right arm drops by the left before we pivot the upper body back to the midline. Noticing how this side feels different in this position. One more inhale. And on the exhale, stay nice and low. We walk both hands to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand stays planted as we wrap the left arm up and around, left fingers reaching out towards the right. Big inhale. Exhale, pressing into the right hand, we lift ourselves back up through center. We're going to make our way into tabletop position. So however you want to get there is up to you. And we'll meet there, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Toes are either curled or face down to the mat. And we'll start to tap into warming up the spine. So inhale, we drop the belly, lift the tail, gazes forward. We're pressing away from the earth and the fingertips. Exhale, tail rounds, pulling towards the belly button, crown drops towards the earth, cat pose. Pressing away from the mat again in the fingertips. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. Last one, inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. Inhale brings you back to neutral position. We send the right leg out long behind us, letting the heel really reach towards the back of the mat. Inhale, and on the exhale, we press down through the left foot. So we're creating our foundation, lifting the right foot up and over the left leg off the left side of the mat. Letting the heel again reach behind us. We inhale, right arm swings up towards the ceiling. Big inhale, and then on the exhale, bicep is going to drop by the ear, fingertips reach out towards the front of the mat. One more breath cycle. Exhale, gently, hand to earth, we unravel, coming back to our tabletop, taking a breath if you need it. Otherwise, we'll send the left leg out long. Heel grows nice and weighty, reaching towards the back edge of the mat. Exhale, we press down firmly through the right foot, lifting left up and over. Making an effort to keep both hip bones shining down towards the mat. Exhale, pressing into the right hand, we lift left up to the ceiling. Exhale, fingers reach towards the front of the mat, biceps by the ear. Exhale with control, hand comes back to meet the mat, and we unravel. Big toes come together, knees as wide as the yoga mat. We sink the hips back onto the heels. Melting belly, chest, and forehead down to extended child's pose. Taking a big breath, feeling the shoulder blades widen across the back body. The skin of the low back expanding on the inhale and softening, lengthening the tail on the exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we lift the chest just slightly. Forehead comes off the earth, gazes forward right in between the thumbs. As we bring the right arm underneath the left, threading the needle, dropping onto the right shoulder, right ear. If you want to stay low in extended child's pose like this, that's fine. But if that does not feel good, you can come back to tabletop and thread your needle that way, keeping the hips right above the knees. Take one more inhale. In whatever position you're in, we use the left hand to press us back up through central, coming into a neutral position before we take it to the other side. So left hand comes underneath the right. One more inhale here. Exhale, we unravel. And with our gaze forward, we press into the tops of the feet, bringing the knees back underneath the hips. We curl the toes. And on the exhale, hips come up high, downward facing dog. Adjusting for wherever your body's at today. Maybe you keep deep bend in the knees. Maybe you take your foot stance really wide. One more inhale. And on your exhale, we're lifting right leg up high, three-legged dog. Heel drops to hip as we open the front body over to the right. Right toes reach over to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, we step the right foot up behind the right wrist. So we're in this modified low lunge. Inhale, we sweep the right arm out and then up towards the ceiling. And at the same time, we pivot the toes over to the right side of the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, we pivot back where we came. And using an exhale, we draw the right foot back to meet the left again in downward facing dog. Exhale, left leg lifts up high, three-legged dog. Heel drops to hip as we open the front body over to the left. Exhale, we step the left foot behind the left hand. Exhale, left hand sweeps up to the ceiling as both sets of toes pivot over to the left side of the mat. Exhale, gently we pivot back to where we started, drawing the left foot back to meet the right. In downward facing dog, we're here for 2 breath cycles. Your next inhale sends you up to the front of the mat, whether that's taking little steps, crisscross walk, one big step, or if hopping is in your practice, that's great too. We'll meet together in a forward fold, taking any organic movement that feels good. Maybe it's gentle sways side to side. Maybe it's shaking the head, yes, and then no. Maybe it's straightening one leg, bending the opposite knee, and then switching. And we'll take a moment of stillness at center. Using your next inhale, we press into the feet, root to rise, start to roll our way up to mountain. Arms come with us up overhead, wide feet before kissing together and descending at the heart space. Taking a moment with the eyes closed for a breath cycle. Inhale, arms come up overhead, palms are still kissed together. Exhale, we flip the palms and start to swan dive forward into our forward fold. Inhale lifts us halfway. Exhale, we fold, fingertips come down to the mat. We step just the left foot back and drop the back knee. If you have bad knees or that doesn't feel good, you can stay elevated on that back leg. Otherwise, we drop the back knee, flip the back foot, finding our space in low lunge. We're light on the fingertips. We've either got fingertips on the mat lightly, maybe fingertips are hovering just slightly above the mat, or we can either be lifted, hands come up to the right thigh, if that feels more comfortable. Two more breath cycles. Close the eyes if that feels safe. The bottom of your next exhale, palms come down to the mat, framing the right foot. We curl the back toe, lift the back knee, drawing right foot back to meet the left. We're in plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Taking either an upward facing dog or cobra. Big inhale when you get there. Using an exhale to lower forehead kisses, toes curl. We'll use our inhale to power up either to all fours or to plank before sending the hips up high, downward facing dog. Exhale, we step the left foot to left thumb. Dropping the right knee, flipping the right foot as we take our low lunge on the other side. We're pressing in or through the sole of the left foot, through the top of the right foot. That's our foundation. One more breath cycle. Bottom of your exhale, fingertips or palms to the mat. So we curl the back toes, lift the knee, and then we're stepping right foot up to meet the left in our forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. We roll our way up to mountain. Arms come with us up overhead, palms kiss together, descending at the heart space. Closing the eyes for a breath cycle. Big inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms flip as we swan dive forward. Inhale lifts us halfway. Exhale, we fold, fingertips come down to the mat. This time we step the right foot back, dropping the back knee, flipping the back foot. We find ourselves in lunge, low lunge. Closing the eyes if that feels safe. Big inhale through the nose, down into the belly. Noticing all the ways the breath interacts with the body. One more breath cycle. Bottom of the exhale, we drop the palms, lift the back knee, left foot draws back to meet the right or in plank. Exhale lowers you halfway or all the way before pressing up into cobra or upward facing dog. Elbows are always tight to the side body, shoulders pulled down away from the ears. Using an exhale to fold. Forehead kisses the mat, toes curl. Exhale, powering up, tabletop or plank before sending the hips up high, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. As we drop the left knee, flipping the back foot, finding our low lunge on the other side. One more breath cycle. Exhale, we curl the back foot, lift the back knee, back foot steps up to meet the right in forward fold. Inhale rolls us up to mountain. Arms come up overhead, palms kiss together. Descending at the heart space. Closing the eyes for a breath cycle. All right, we're gonna do one more round with some additions. So inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms flip, we swan dive forward. Inhale lifts us halfway. Exhale, we fold, fingertips come down. We step just the left foot back, dropping the back knee, flip the back foot. We find our low lunge, floating fingers. Exhale, left hand drops by right arch. We swing the right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand replaces the left as we open left arm to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand replaces the right as we frame the foot. We lift the hips up and back, sending the right toes up towards the ceiling. That does not mean that you have to keep that leg straight. You can keep the knee bent. Gaze can be towards the front of the mat, or maybe we drop forehead towards the body. One more inhale. Exhale, we roll through, hands come to frame the right foot. We lift the back leg, right foot draws back to meet the left. We're in plank. Exhale lowers you halfway or all the way to find upward facing dog or cobra. Taking an inhale when you get there. Exhale, lower. Forehead kisses, toes curl. Exhale, presses you up to tabletop or plank before sending the hips up high. Downward facing dog, trying to find some grace and fluidity in the transition. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Drop the right knee. Flip the right foot, finding our low lunge. Chest is open, gaze is forward. Exhale, we drop the right palm, lifting left hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand replaces the right as we lift the right arm to ceiling. Exhale, right hand replaces the left as we frame the left foot, lifting the hips up and back, sending the left toes up towards the sky or ceiling. We're pressing down firmly through the top of the back foot for our foundation. Inhale. Exhale, rolls us through that front foot. Hands come to frame the foot. We lift the back knee, stepping the back foot up to meet the front in our forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, rolls us up to mountain. Arms come with us up overhead, palms together, and descend at the heart space. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Palms flip externally as we swan dive forward. Fingertips come down to the mat. We heel toe the feet as wide or a little wider than hip width apart, toes pointing away from us. Big inhale, and on the exhale, we start to send the hips in between the heels, finding variation of our yogi squat that works for you. Maybe that means being up on the toes, weight comes up onto the fingertips in front of the body. Maybe you bring a rolled up blanket or towel underneath the heels to give you a little more elevation, building the earth up to you. Or maybe we shoot the tail down to the earth, hips come in between the heels, chest is open and forward. 2 more breath cycles wherever you are. Last one. On the exhale, we drop one hand in front, one hand behind. Coming down into a seat, we'll end today in a cross-legged position of your choice. Sitting up nice and tall, hands either on the knees or maybe one hand on the heart, one on the belly. We'll take one last breath together. Big inhale. Long, slow exhale. If you have time to spend a few extra minutes on your mat, either in this quiet meditation pose or Shavasana, I would encourage you to do so. Otherwise, thank yourself for showing up today. It is not an easy thing that we do, but you did it. Thank you for practicing with me, and I will see you next time.